For more than half a century, the F-15 has been a symbol of American air power. Fast, lethal, and almost untouchable in the skies. Now, in the form of the F-15EX Eagle II, it has been reborn, not just as a continuation of a legendary platform, but as a bridge to the future of aerial warfare. The story of this aircraft isn't just about steel, thrust, and radar. It's about evolution, adaptability, and survival. In an age when drones, stealth, and artificial intelligence are reshaping the battlefield. But is the F-15X the swan song of a long-serving icon? Or is it the herald of a new paradigm where legacy aircraft continue to thrive alongside sixth-generation jets and swarms of unmanned systems? Let's dive into its history, technology, and strategic importance to understand why this immortal eagle continues to soar. A fighter born out of necessity. The Vietnam War was a sobering wake-up call for the U.S. Air Force. America's premier jet at the time, the McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom II, looked great on paper. It was fast, heavily armed, and advanced for its era. But in the messy reality of air-to-air combat, it revealed flaws. The Phantom was heavy, lacked the maneuverability to dominate dogfights, and relied too heavily on missiles at a time when close-range cannon duels still decided life and death in the skies. As losses mounted, the Air Force realized it needed a pure air superiority fighter, an aircraft designed for one purpose only: winning the fight in the air. Thus was born the FX program, which attracted proposals from aerospace giants like Fairchild Republic, North American Rockwell, and McDonnell Douglas. Even NASA was brought in to help refine aerodynamic concepts. In an unusual move, the program skipped over extended prototype testing and went straight into full-scale development. A gamble that paid off. By July 1972, the F-15 Eagle took its first flight. A year later, the two-seat F-15B version cemented its promise. Unlike its multi-role predecessors, this was a no-compromise design. It wasn't a jack-of-all-trades, it was a hunter. Its top speed of Mach 2.5, coupled with the revolutionary ANA-PG-63 radar, gave pilots the ability to detect and engage enemies long before being seen themselves. Perhaps its most groundbreaking feature was its programmable radar processor, which allowed upgrades without replacing the hardware. This modular software-first approach would later become standard practice in U.S. military aviation, paving the way for aircraft like the F-35 to constantly evolve through software updates. Equipped with external tanks, the Eagle could fly over 2,000 miles without refueling. An impressive reach combined with the ability to cruise near Mach 1 without afterburners. Over decades of service, the F-15 proved itself unbeatable in air combat, achieving more than 100 confirmed kills without a single loss in dogfights. For the Air Force, the Eagle wasn't just a fighter, it was a reassurance that American dominance in the skies could be restored and maintained. The dilemma of the 2010s. Fast forward to the 2010s. The U.S. Air Force faced a new problem. The F-22 Raptor program had been capped at just 187 jets when production ended in 2011. The F-35 Lightning II, although revolutionary, was plagued with delays, ballooning costs, and technical growing pains. Meanwhile, adversaries weren't standing still. China was building a modern air fleet, and Russia was marketing its advanced Su-35 to allies. The U.S. needed an affordable, reliable, and heavily armed aircraft that could fill the gap without requiring stealth for every mission. Boeing had the answer ready. It had been developing the F-15 Qatar Advanced. For the Qatari Air Force, essentially a 21st century F-15 with cutting-edge avionics, fly-by-wire controls, modern engines, and an open mission systems architecture designed for future upgrades. This became the blueprint for the F-15EX Eagle II, a fighter that blended the indestructible DNA of the original Eagle with digital age enhancements. A digital Eagle reimagined. The F-15X is far more than a modernized Eagle. It represents a complete redesign tailored for the digital battlefield. Its power and agility are driven by the new General Electric F-110-GE-129 engines, each producing nearly 30,000 pounds of thrust. This gives the aircraft a significant edge over earlier versions, while advanced fly-by-wire controls provide unmatched stability under heavy or uneven loads. Pilots can now execute aggressive maneuvers without fear of overstressing the airframe, and with redesigned wings rated for 20,000 flight hours, the F-15X promises a service life that rivals or even surpasses newer fighters. But what truly sets this aircraft apart is its payload capacity. If the stealthy F-35 and F-22 are surgical daggers, the F-15EX is a broadsword, capable of carrying up to 29,500 pounds of ordnance across 23 hardpoints. This translates to loadouts of up to 22 air-to-air missiles, or combinations of bombs, anti-radiation weapons, and even massive hypersonic missiles like the AGM-183 air-launched rapid response weapon, which stealth jets simply cannot accommodate internally. To survive in modern combat, the Eagle II relies not on stealth but on cutting-edge avionics. Its APG-82 radar merges the strengths of earlier active electronically scanned array systems with new processors and cooling to deliver both detection and electronic warfare capabilities. At the same time, the AN/ALQ-250 Eagle Passive Active Warning Survivability System Electronic Warfare Suite can identify, analyze, and jam threats in real time, effectively adapting to enemy signals mid-mission. Supplemented by the Legion Pod for passive detection of stealthy adversaries, the F-15EX gains an edge in contested skies. Inside the cockpit, a digital helmet-mounted cueing system allows pilots to target with a mere glance, while the jet's open architecture design ensures seamless compatibility with both legacy systems and future upgrades. Altogether, these enhancements make the F-15EX not just a continuation of a legacy, but a fighter reimagined for the challenges of modern and future warfare. The Eagle II as a force multiplier. Despite being less stealthy than the F-35 or F-22, the F-15EX has carved out a vital role in America's aerial strategy. Modern air warfare often requires stealth fighters to infiltrate, detect, and designate targets, but they can carry only limited munitions. This is where the F-15X shines. In a typical mission, stealth jets would act as scouts, passing targeting data back to an F-15X loitering outside enemy radar range. The Eagle II, armed to the teeth, becomes the executioner, launching volleys of missiles, bombs, or hypersonics at targets identified by its stealthy counterparts. This synergy creates a layered and flexible strike package. Additionally, the F-15X is particularly suited for deploying hypersonic weapons, which are simply too large for other U.S. fighters to carry. In this sense, the Eagle II is less a relic and more a critical enabler of next-generation warfare. Numbers, budgets, and politics. Since 2021, the Air Force's planned fleet size for the F-15EX has shifted multiple times, from 144 jets down to 104, then up again with budget allocations. The 2026 defense budget included $3 billion for 21 more aircraft, bringing the total to 129. Politics also plays a role. The Michigan Air National Guard, losing its aging A-10 Warthogs, will be re-equipped with Eagle II. Supporters argue the F-15EX offers the best mix of affordability, capability, and reliability at a time when the U.S. must prepare for both high-intensity conflicts and sustained operations around the globe. Eagle III in 2050? The question remains, how long can the Eagle keep flying? With an expected service life of 20,000 hours per aircraft and the flexibility to adopt future weapons and technologies, the F-15EX could easily remain relevant into the 2050s. Some speculate that an Eagle III could eventually emerge, further enhancing the platform with AI co-pilots, advanced drone control capabilities, and even stealth coatings. More realistically, the Eagle II will coexist with 6th-generation fighters under the Air Force's next-generation air dominance program, serving as a backbone workhorse while stealth jets and drones push into contested zones. In other words, the F-15X proves that sometimes the future doesn't erase the past, it builds on it. And that wraps up our deep dive into the legendary F-15EX Eagle II. What do you think? Timeless powerhouse or just a bridge to the future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel for more aviation and defense insights every week. And ring the notification bell so you never miss our next flight into the skies.